Oh, too low. That's okay. That's okay. So what we're doing here is working on a new cage for, who's this one for? Ryder. So I've replaced Scamp's cage and Sita's cage with a smaller cage. I mean, it's all impossible to see. Let me clean that off. But yeah, I mean, I love obviously having a giant cage for each of them. The bigger the better. But there's just, yeah, not much room. And since they have so much play area, I guess basically just their sleepy cages, or when I go out, cages can be a little smaller. They're lighter, easy for me to move around and carry. So yeah, the ones on the end. So there's Scamps and Sita's on the end. So this is what I've been working on. Here's all the parts. Now I've learned a lot since I've started building these cages. I mean, Sita only got a new cage last year, and then I downgraded her again. So I upgraded her to a bigger cage, and then she went back down to a smaller cage. But she's coping very well. Now, a few things I've noticed about building cages from brand new here is that all this black stuff on my hands. Now, I've just been pulling them off and checking them for imperfections, and bam, my hands are covered in black stuff. So I don't know if you want to wash your cages first. Also, I noticed, I don't know if I can see any here, there's a little bit and it's impossible for you to see, but in the cracks, there's like metal shavings, I guess from, you know, the manufacturing process, and it's just little, yeah, little dusty metal pieces. So yeah, best to wipe them, wash them, scrub them for all you know. Yeah, gosh knows what that, I mean, that's definitely toxic. That's got to be some sort of metal stuff. So yeah, so they, you know, use their beaks and their feet to climb the cages. So you don't want anything like that on them. I'm just giving them a light wipe down. Yes, I would like to wash them, but I'm terrified of getting them too wet and getting, you know, water all through these pipes and starting a rusting process. So yeah, I don't really want to do that. Maybe, yeah, after a while I do always give them a pressure hose, but I don't want to do that with a brand new cage just yet. Also, another thing I've noticed about new cages is this, the powder coating on the edges here. I'm going to rub my rag along here. I notice there's sharp bits that are getting caught on my rag. I did see this cage thoroughly check for hers. Scamp's not so much. I might do another check on his. But yeah, the little sharp welds, little chunks left over from the welding or the powder coating is really sharp at some point. Some little pieces just sticking out, tiny little shards. And because, you know, they sort of slide, they grab on and then just slide right down. I don't want that to cut their feet open, scratch their beaks too much or anything like that. So I'm checking them all. And yes, on this particular brand of cage, I'm finding a lot. So I've just got some old nail clippers, new ones that'll be completely damaged. So I'm just clipping off any of this excess stuff, which is a nightmare. It takes me 15 minutes to build a cage. It takes me a few hours to try and smooth all this out. So I've got the nail clippers there, and I've also got just this electric nail file. So once I've clipped it, I'm trying to smooth it down. So yeah, I'm feeling every single bar in between each bar to see, oh gosh, that's really sharp. See, if it's cutting your skin, that's not good for theirs either. Oh, I need the clippers on that one. Now, doing this is not a good idea because I am basically removing some of the powder coating in that spot. So if it's exposed steel, that's going to be very susceptible, if that's the right word, to water and rust, which is going to suck big time. So that's gonna, yeah, if it gets rusty, that's an even bigger problem. But hey, if they get rusty, I'll just buy a new cage. I'll just buy a new cage. 4 freaking cages, hundreds of dollars, all for my babies. So yeah, it depends how you want to tackle that. But yeah, just check your cages first when you buy them. If you're building a new cage, make sure there is no residue left on them. Make sure there's none of these sharp bits. I don't know if any other brand of cage has this. Yeah. I would love to get... I've heard aluminium is safe for cages. They're super expensive. But from what I've heard, this may not be true. That they're non-toxic. And even when they start to break down, the corrosion is non-toxic either. They don't technically rust like others. But my vet's not 100% sure, so they said that aluminium is toxic. So who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll show you building. I don't know if I'll show you building her. Yeah, maybe I'll show you building the cage. And this one's going to be for Ryder, and then we'll go through all of them. Sky's going to be the last one to get a new cage. She's the newest. She's moved around more than the others have in the past few months, or in the past year now. She's nearly been with us the whole year. And she's moved twice now. I've rearranged her cage. I mean, I don't know, for all I know, she's had the same cage set up for the past 4 years. So I've changed everything in her cage. She's kept her swing. She got to keep her swing and some of her original toys. So yeah, she's gone through the most changes, so I'll leave her till last. Besides, everyone sits in her cage, eats her food, plays with her toys. So yeah, she's going to have the bigger cage for a little while. Yeah. And she doesn't like to just sit in her cage and do nothing like the others. Yeah, they're all sitting in a cage right now, just hanging out. They don't mind just to sit in a cage all day, even if the doors are open. But poor little biscuit, little Sky, as soon as the cage door opens, she's gone. She doesn't want to be in there. She might go in there to eat, but that's about it. So let's go see everybody here. Scamp. Hi, Scamp. Are you okay? This is his little cage. Ryder? Hello? Hello? What's your name? Oh, you don't say that. Sorry. Yep. So he'll be getting the new cage too. You can see the difference in height, size. They're a little bit smaller, and I hate that, but yeah, we've got too much going on. So there's little Sky. See? She just sits as far away as she can. Here is Sita. Sita? Yeah. And you're in Sky's cage right now, right? You are. Everyone loves Sky's cage. Oh my gosh. And Sita's cage over there. Okay, I'm not looking at my screen, so I have no idea what you're looking at. So she's got the smaller cage too. Oh, it probably means I'll have to rearrange all the perch heights here. I mean, it's going to come to about here. Yeah, we'll work it out. Okay, boo-boo, boo-boo. Hi, boo-boo, boo-boo. What you doing, darling? Yeah? You like it? Okay. Alright, we'll see you in a minute when I've worked out what I'm doing here. But yeah, this process is just going to take a lot longer than I thought. But yeah, gosh, setting up a cage is so much fun though. A few minutes, all the bolts and things, seeing it go up, and having the birds watch me do it too is a lot of fun. I mean, they're scared to start with, but if you've seen me, I've got a video on my channel that shows Sita's new cage, the first one, when we got rid of her original cage. Yeah, so that's me setting it up, and the birds loved it. They were running all over it, jumping all over it. I mean, yeah, it was just it wasn't even built properly, and they were loving it. So have them involved in the process. Hopefully that'll get them used to it before you just chuck them in. And I'd like to do this early in the day, so that way I can set it up He can play in there, maybe lock him up for maybe an hour or so, go out for a little while, get him used to it before I put him to bed in it, because last time I built a cage and then an hour later it was bedtime, and I don't know if it was Cedar or Scamp, maybe both. I locked them in there and they're like, where am I? What do I do? I don't know what to do. Usually, you know, they climb into their little bedtime area, perch, spot. They were just like, what? What do I do? So, yeah, best to do this early in the day, get them used to it. Maybe even over a couple of days. Just have the cage sitting there all set up. So they get used to it. But then again, I don't know if I can do that because I want to take the perches out of his cage and put it in the new one. So once I've done that, yeah. That's it. No more old cage. Okay, so once again, here's all my parts. And we'll see you later. And yeah, this is the end. I'm serious.